Hello. Today I played round 2 of the tournament that I'm in that I can't remember the name of. It was supposed to be 2 rounds today, but I got a bye in round 3, which for the more perspective of you, well, you'll realise what the result of this game should be. So I was black, and she played the Alapin, which I knew she was going to do. This was all expected up to here. And almost always she plays pawn takes or bishop here. So those were the two things I looked at. She actually played this in the game. And it kind of seemed, to me, it seems like a pretty good move. And she said she's almost always had knight c6, but I played d6, which I regretted slightly after playing, but apparently it's fine. It's just as good. And she thought for ages on this. She used so much time. And that's kind of the one bit of hope that I had. But it was kind of bad psychologically because I was thinking if I just get through to the end game, she's gonna have no time, I'll be fine, which is not a good way to think about it. Because even if you've got half an hour, it's plus 30-second increment, loads of time. She took with the queen, and I defended my knight with the pawn, which was the best move. And this is now we're out of book, and I'm just making stuff up. But I know the common themes, but in none of the positions was the queen on d4. She throws this check in. Blocking with the knight, I end up with a horrendous pawn structure. Blocking here, I struggle to get my bishop out. My queen no longer protects this. She can play this, and it gets tricky. So this, I think, again, was the best move. So far so good. Computer's starting to like my position. She throws this one in, and this is where I mess up. I did not take note that at any point when she takes this pawn, this queen is hitting this square. I did not take note of that, so I play bishop e7, which is a mistake. It's not a blunder, but it's a mistake. It means that I'm gonna have to take some tempi. She may hold on to this pawn for a while. It'll be hard to hold on to it forever, but it's going to give her chances to develop later on. She takes. She takes here, and I had two options: take with the knight or take with the queen. Taking with the knight, in hindsight, knowing this problem, might have been better, but I think in both of them you end up with problems. Taking with the queen, so taking with the knight means I can never bring the knight here with tempo, right? Taking with the queen means I don't have this battery anymore that can come in handy. But anyway, this is what she played. And it's at this point that I've realised, I realised here, she's going to take this pawn and this is hanging. So I realised at this point I'm definitely a pawn down. But with this knight is struggling. This is going to come with tempo. It's not horrendous. Apparently bishop takes g5 was the way to go. If queen takes, you just come back. That was my saving grace, and I missed it. I played this. I did not play that. Sorry, that was the best move. I played this. Basically, right, I'm going to lose this pawn. Whatever. She took. I played knight c6. So these were good moves. Hitting the queen, because I'm not sure how I want to take this. Maybe with the knight, maybe with the pawn. Depends where her queen is. She goes to here, and then this is where I massively blunder. Computer quite likes my position. For some reason, I calculated this. Knight takes, queen takes, rook over. Can't take my rook, or this pawn, my knight covers them. Queen has to go to this square. Then possibly queen attacks, possibly just win this pawn back. I'm going to have a nice safe king. I'll be winning this pawn. It's going to look great. So, and then I calculate this. I was like, I'm probably still going to win this pawn. It's still not a bad position. But I get an extra tempo with this on the queen. I can't remember the other things that I did to justify it. So I was like, you know what? I think this one's slightly better. Forces the queen to the side. Can take either pawn. And I just missed that the knight is hanging. She's attacked. I thought I could play rook over. The knight's just hanging. And the rest is just a train crash. So really bad. Really bad. So opening prep, I think that I did was good, given the time. Every time the opponent makes a move, the things that I've been trying to do is look at threats and consequences. The consequences of a queen coming here is that it's eyeing this square. So, like you don't miss it if it's on your radar. And I need to be adding things to my radar. I think that's my tip. I'm trying to have some like positive points to take away to make myself feel a bit better. If I'm going right, queen's moved there. First thing I should go is right. Oh, wait, is she threatening anything? Is anything hanging? What were the consequences of this move? Okay, so this knight's no longer defended. These squares are no longer available. X-raying this, hitting this, still attacking the knight. Can also come over to here. And then I should go, right, yeah, if takes, so it's X-raying that, if takes, this is hanging. And then it's on my radar. The other blunder of this is one where I calculated as far as I can, which isn't very far, maybe like 5 moves, and it's the first move. Maybe you could argue that's the second move, but it's one of the first 2 moves is a blunder. I think I've got to put more effort into it. It's tough because I was quite like, when you're tired, it is a lot harder. But that's like how many I do a video every day. In half of them, I'm tired, and I don't make blunders like that, and with less time. So I don't think tiredness isn't an excuse. It's just lack of effort. I underestimated her a little bit. 2, the fact that she was taking so long gave me some sort of false confidence, I think. And it's for some reason put me off thinking. And I think I just, while I'm calculating, I need to go right. Am I missing anything here? Takes. Because in my head I go right. Knight takes, queen takes, rook over. Queen has to go, and then I'm looking like, okay, queen can't go up here. Can't go here. My knight's there. Go there. But where I should be going is, I need to physically go. Knight is here. Queen takes. What's hanging? Maybe like the whole consequences thing that you do when calculating, do a consequence thing. I've never thought of that. Maybe that's what I need to do, is when calculating, because obviously in a blitz, maybe even a rapid, you don't have time to every move that you do in your head, you ask what are the consequences. But with this much time, it's a lot of time. Like games today started at 10 and we're still going by well past 1 o'clock. I like over 3 hours and a quarter at least. You have a lot of time. So yeah, maybe in this format I go right. Knight takes so I just go right. Knight takes consequences. And I just look at all the squares that it was hitting and go, right, it's no longer defending any of them. Can the queen make use of any of them? Could come to here, it's hitting this, but the queen's defending that. Okay, consequences, yeah. Then queen, where could the queen's hit? Where could she go? She could attack the knight. She could take the pawn. Consequences of attacking the knight. Knight is attacked, but defended. I could just take the pawn at this point. She's not making room for any pieces. If she was to take the pawn, consequences, pawn's no longer there. These two squares are now vulnerable. My knight's vulnerable. And obviously, this is the kind of thing you do in your head automatically. I know, I realise that, but to it's almost like making I want to say physical note. It's not the right word because it's not a physical note, but you're not, instead of relying on your instincts to make that calculation, to consciously do it, to consciously go, I am checking this. That's what I'll try and do that tomorrow. I've got some tough games tomorrow. Let's have a look. Welsh chess Congress. See, look, so game started at 3 today, so they've been 3 hours and 50 minutes, and look, these are still going. This guy was going for ages early as well. I got a buy. Not going well. So yeah, and if you have a look at who I could play, right, the people on 0, we've got the Smiths. They're kids, but I've played one of them in the past, and they're not 1300, they're like 1600. We've got an 1800 here, 1700. There's yeah, maybe it's not too bad. The worst I could get is an 1800. No, he won. Could get a 1600, 1600. These are 1600s really. And and the other thing is, these people who are 1600 are kids who've gained like 100 ratings since the last tournament because there haven't been many tournaments. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I can get a win tomorrow. Because it sucks having to do the review and it's a loss. So there we are. GG's.